Yo guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we'll be talking about Tropical Storm Henri, which has just made landfall right now on the coast of Massachusetts and all that. It made landfall, I think it just made landfall as it heads towards the east, towards Nova Scotia. So, and it should be post-tropical by the time it gets to here. And obviously it will move either westward or it could move towards England like that and then take a dip towards the south. You don't really know. So, it has made landfall on Massachusetts, New York. You will be getting some tropical storm rains from this. So do experience some tropical storm force winds along here. And some storm surge. And don't forget some swells as well. Going off the coast. The center circulation is there. Where that X is, where the National Hurricane Center is hinting of development, is there. This is not going to re-intensify again because it's seeing cooler sea surface temperatures and yeah. But anyway, we've got this tropical wave here, which is a near 10% chance of reformation here. I'll read out to you. This organized shower activity over the eastern tropical Atlantic is associated with a broad area of low pressure south of the Cape Verde Islands. Little, if any, development is expected to occur during the next couple of days. Some gradual development, however, it is possible by midweek as the system moves northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour over the central Atlantic, and they're giving it a 10% chance. So they are giving it a 10% chance of forming over here. So it's not going to form here, or here. It will form over here when it gets near Bermuda, where the favourable spot is right now. This is where the favourable spot is. I'll tell you where the favourable spots are. That's where the favourable spots are. Near the Cape Verde Islands and all here is unfavourable. You got that Saharan air layer, plus you got a bit of wind shear, which is tearing the storms apart a bit on this system. But, you know, nothing can really, there's nothing that can go wrong with this. I don't think it will form. Models aren't saying it will form. Most of the models are saying that there's going to be two systems going like that and another system forming like that, heading towards the east coast. So towards Louisiana border. So do expect probably a Category 4 out of this one, and maybe a Cat 2 out of this one. Go sit in the same spot where Grace hit, and then obviously by that time Henri will be a lot gone, long gone. In the East Pac, you've got a disturbance from Grace that was over the Atlantic, and they are giving that an 80% chance of formation the next 5 days. There it is. The remnants of Grace as it moves towards that way. So it could be a short-lived tropical storm. A large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms along offshore of the coast of western central Mexico is associated with the remnants of Grace. Environmental conditions are forecasted to be conducive for development, and a tropical depression is likely to form in the next day or so while the system moves westward at 10 to 15 miles per hour away from the coast of Mexico, and they're giving it an 80% chance of formation in the next 40 hours, which is 2 days. And in 5 days, they're giving it an 80% chance. So, do expect this is going to be reforming again. It won't have the name Grace. I'll have the name Marty. I'll have the name Marty. So, yeah, there still has a bit of wind shear of it, as it's still some of its convection is still on the mountains all up here. These are the mountains, and plus those mountains make wind shear, so it tears the storm a bit. But this storm has just came off the coast, as you can see. It's at least 100 miles off the coast, maybe even a bit less than that. It is delivering some rain. It has delivered a lot of rain to Mexico and damaging winds, Grace has. Central Pacific, nothing really forming in the Central Pacific. Eastern Pacific over here, nothing really forming. It's just near the coast. So, anyway, I'll show the JTWC. Because we've got Omitus out there right now. I'll show you. Omitus. There we are. Or Omeus, whatever you want to call it. There we are. It's there. As you can see. It's been a bit sheared a little bit. It has got a little bit of shear. Not too much. But it is being sheared from the north like that. Pushing all of its convective bands towards the southwest here. And it is still got half of its centre covered up. This is a bit like what Henri did. But still got that convection. Still expect some swells coming off its centre though. For Taiwan and a little bit for maybe Manila, Metro Manila, but Metro Manila. That's it. But the Japanese Gasawara Islands, you need to watch out for this. You guys will put this square box. Same with you, Japan. Same with you. So I'll draw a track of where it's meant to be going. Like this. So there's the centre circulation. It's meant to go like that. The GFS is taking it like that. The HWRF is taking it like that. And the HWRF wants to Cat 4 out of this system. Which it's not going to do that. Because wind shear, it's still taking a toll in the storm. And plus the dry air is over here. It's not getting entrained with the system, which is good news for the system. But it's bad news for like the Gasawara Islands, North Korea, Japan, and some parts of Taiwan, because they are experiencing some swells coming off the coast. Seeing them. Same with Manila here, or Luzon, whatever that is. I don't really know any places in the Philippines at all. You do have this frontal boundary, like what Henri had, and obviously it's still got it as it is like that. It's basically like Florida. So this bit's Florida, then you got North Carolina and all that jazz. So yeah, it is Omitus. I don't know what the Philippine name is. I don't really want to know what the Philippine name is, because some Philippine names are weird. Yeah. Anyway, you do have some convection over here in the South Pacific, but it's not going to form. In the Central Pacific, you can still see, this is actually Linda, and I think this is actually a tropical storm. It could be a tropical storm when it impacts Hawaii, then When it gets here, it should be an X, the tropical cyclone, as it just carries on moving pure west. So, tropical storm until it gets about here, and then just carry on north and northwest into the open Pacific over here, and should either move north or it should either move north, move into the western Pacific, and do that as an extratropical system, though, not as a tropical system. So North Indian Ocean, that's still quiet this time of year. You still got the what do you call it? The monsoon all here. The sea surface temperatures here near India, they're about 22 degrees Celsius. Here it's about 28 degrees. You've got some 26 to 28 degrees Celsius in the Bay of Bengal. In the South Indian Ocean, you've got 26s to 27s. Then you got like a -4 down here, 16 degrees here, 27, 26, 26, 25. As you head up north, it starts to get a bit warmer here, but it gets cooler here. It's a bit like the Atlantic when you have warm, cold, warm. I'll show you that on Tropical Tidbits, actually. So that's enough for me talking about whatever that it was. So, not forecast models. Analysis tool, that's it. Ocean analysis. See, you got... Wait, I'll zoom in. So you got warm, cold, warm. That is a positive AMO, which means it will favour tropical storms as they do that, and as they do that, or just do that, or just track through the Caribbean and just do that. And as you can see, you do have this developing La Nina here, that should start to surface towards September, This is where the Nino box is right now. Obviously near Hawaii up here, you got the warm waters up here. But then you got the cooler sea surface temperatures here, where Linda went. And actually it is getting neutral on where the coast is. You don't really see where those 30 degrees are. And you can actually see where Grace is upwelled a bit as it moves up here and along there like that. But, you do have that La Nina, which is possibly going to form. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it possibly will or might. So you can see we've been on a downtrend of the La Nina. We do attempt to do this, so we go up, down like that, then up, then down like that. So, but like a pattern, basically. Now, the Nino 3 region is... Nino 3 region does do that, and then that's going down a bit, so, if it stays down and goes to about 5 or 6 degrees, it'll be classified by American standards of a La Nina. So about here. If it gets along this line, it'll be a La Nina. Nina plus 1. They are range of it doing like this, and then going back down again. Nino 4 is still indicating a very slow drop off to the south. or to the downwards. So anyway, North Atlantic, as you can see, you don't have that 31 degrees Celsius anymore, because where Grace went over that 31, it really started to rapidly intensify. Obviously, where Henri made landfall here, it's 25 to 24 degrees Celsius, which is not conducive for tropical storm development. As it comes off the coast, it'd be even colder, 19 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, obviously, in the Caribbean, the Gulf, like that, is all above average. It's just this bit here that is cooler than average, and maybe some parts here which is cooler than average. But it is starting to warm up. The Cabo Verde Islands last month, no, well, early August, there were 25 degrees Celsius here. But now, it's starting to get to 28, maybe touching 29 to 26 degrees Celsius. So 26 is about here. 25s, 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 24s, all there. I'll show you the warm parts of the Atlantic by me circling them all. Right, where I've marked, that is the warmest part of the Atlantic. I'll show you where the coolest parts are. You got the coolest parts here. Obviously, where England is, it's always cold where England is, obviously. England, where England is, it's all, the sea surface temperatures are always cold. But, you do get some massive extratropical lows. So, like, say, here's Henri now. Henri's meant to move towards the west, become a massive low pressure system, as there's a high pressure system over the thingy over England. That should move towards the south, that high pressure system. So the high pressure system will move towards the south, deliver more warm waters here near the Azores, while that massive low pressure ex Hurricane Henri moves towards the UK. So here's favourable. You do have some 30-degree spots here. I'll show you where the 30-degree spots are there. You got 30-degree spots here. There are 30-degree spot there. And where Henri was, you do have a 30-degree spot there. So, the Atlantic is running above average, Any tropical cyclone that does this, it's meant to come off the coast of Africa. We can do a long tracking system because the high pressure system ridge like that is strong this year. So any high pressure system ridge, it will just push the systems towards this way. But no, in October, the high pressure system ridge will be about up here near the Azores. So it'll just push those, It won't push them all the way towards the west like that. It'll probably push them towards here like this and just, just curve out. And you can get the storms that can do that, like what Michael did. I'll show you what I mean by a Michael track. So starting off here, going over the Yucatan a bit, and making landfall there, and that's the worst case scenario if a storm wants to go like that. A storm can do that if it wants to, I'll show you where the below average spots are there. You see, it is a bit of upwelling that Grace did a bit, but the Caribbean is finally getting its warm together because you had Elsa, which did that. And you had Fred, which did this. And then you had Grace, which did that. So you had like 3 storms traveling into the Caribbean so far, and that's why it was below average towards the southern parts here. But now it's now it's getting a little bit active towards here. Wind shear's low, as you can see. In an El Nino season, we would have wind shear like this. Yeah, in an El Nino season, the wind shear would be prevalent across the Caribbean, like that, and the Gulf of Mexico, and in the MDR as well. Plus, the only favorable spots will be here, maybe near Florida, so those systems can ride up. But when there's a low wind shear environment, there probably will be a bit of wind shear in the Gulf, like that, and maybe a little bit in the Caribbean, and maybe a bit in the MDR. But those storms can still breathe, even if it becomes strong towards here. The wind shear won't affect it if it becomes like a major hurricane. Because let's say if a major hurricane forms in the Caribbean, it won't get effective as much as wind shear. So anyway, let's stop talking about, going off topic. So forecast models, right? Forecast models, GFS. So you have Henri making landfall here. Apparently, it's 990 millibars. Yes, it is, and it should do that. So, you guys stay safe there. Actually 998 now. It is. So, it is over land right now. This system here is not really doing that much. You do have a potent tropical wave coming off the coast. You do have a tropical wave, and you have that massive extratropical system, which is what I was talking about. And you can see what's that extratropical system. Obviously, the high pressure system ridge moves away from England, like that, and that comes across like that. So, obviously, here was the high pressure system ridge in the Atlantic, but now it's this bit here. If you keep watching, see, there's 2 high pressure system ridges, one near Bermuda and one near the Azores. The Azores one will come over like that and will push this high pressure system ridge towards the UK. Watch. And obviously, that one dissipates. That was the one that I was talking about, the one that dissipates over here. And obviously, it becomes a strong, sonic, not as strong, but a moderate, high pressure ridge. Obviously, you've got a system down here in the Atlantic, which you have to keep an eye on. But, you've got a 1,500 millibar storm in the Atlantic right now. That should head towards the north, as you can see. It does start to get a bit of convection around it as the Central America gyre starts to form. Becomes 1,002 millibars. Does make landfall as 995 millibars over the Yucatan Peninsula. And weakens a bit, and then, intensifies, but then you got a system out here, which that comes Ida, this becomes Julian. Obviously, making landfall in the same place where Grace made landfall, but as a very weak storm, 994 millibars, right there. And actually doing this, not actually doing what Grace did. But then you have 2 very intense systems that do affect the US. You got this one here, and you got one that does form in the right southern part of the Caribbean. Well, the latest GFS was hinting of a very strong system out here. You know, a tropical wave that was supposed to go like that. You know, isn't not doing that no more. So, satellite imagery, tropical storm Henri. I'll show you Henri right now. To be honest, it doesn't look as good as it did earlier on when it was in the warm waters. It has made landfall though. As you know, not with barely any convection because it's in cooler sea surface temperatures right now. So yeah, but it's, as you can see, it is on its extratropical transition. Luckily, it made landfall as a tropical system. It would have been good if it made landfall as an extratropical storm, but obviously it didn't have that time to transition into an extratropical system. As you can see there, you see the eye is starting to open a bit here. Watch on the latest frame to when pen is boom. On the latest frames, it doesn't look as good as it did earlier on though. When it was like down here, it looked really good as it was doing that now. So no, when it was here, it looked good. When it was here, it was still in the warm waters at this point here. But then obviously moved into cooler sea surface temperatures, and actually I think quickly weakened to a 60-mile-an-hour storm. But you know, still expect some storm surge along here. Do expect some rainfall dropping where the landfall spot is as you get towards over here. Now, don't know what the rainfall chances is. I think Force 13 said it was about 16 inches. I think. I know the storm surge is about 3 to 5 feet, but with high tide it will probably be a lot higher than that. Maybe about 6 to about 9 or 10 feet of storm surge when the high tide's here. So luckily this came before the high tide as it just carried on moving north. The centre is now overland, as you can. Well, I'll have a look on the NHC cone. Yes, the centre is now. Well, the centre's still off a little bit, but the northern part of the centre is making landfall. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I shall see you all in the next video. Peace and have a great day.